Hello, my dear friends. I'm Stanislav Shamayev, a licensed business immigration and corporate attorney in Miami, Florida. In today's video, we're going to be discussing the ways to immigrate or come and work in the US for the graphic designers. At the end of this video, you will be able to learn how to get a free evaluation of your case if you're a graphic designer. Let's go. And you guys know the drill. Smash that like button if you like my content and subscribe to my YouTube channel. We're growing really fast and it's going to be a lot of good content here. 2 videos every week with no breaks, with no pauses. And you guys know that this content is the best. Nobody's giving you this many insights and things that happen in the practice of an attorney. So please subscribe and smash the like button. Okay, so Stanislav, why are we talking about graphic designers? Aren't they kind of IT people, like programmers, coders? Maybe. I'm not an expert in IT, although we have a lot of IT cases. We have them for O1, for EB1 for EB2 National Interest Waiver. We work with IT specialists across the world. Because of that, I know that in the IT world, there are a lot of very small niches, and graphic design is one of them. Just recently we got an approval for EB1 for a graphic designer from Kazakhstan, and a couple of months before that we got O1 visa for graphic designer from Belarus. You can see the geography of our cases are really huge, and right now we're working with a couple of graphic designers from Europe. And by the way, there's another O1 visa for a graphic designer teacher, not only graphic designer, but the one who is in the pedagogical field of that. I know a lot about graphic designers, and that's why I want to discuss with you the ways that you can come here to the States and work temporarily or maybe even get a green card. I see probably 4 realistic ways for a graphic designer to immigrate. One of them is E2 visa, the second one is O1 visa, the third one is EB1 visa, and the fourth one is EB2 National Interest Waiver. And of course, I'm not going to discuss EB2 and EB3 visas, because if you have an employer in the United States of America and they get the PERM, the labor certification for you, of course you can immigrate that way. And maybe you're a very rich graphic designer, you may participate in EB5 program. But again, I want to talk about realistic ways where are we able to help you quickly. It's between 6 months to a year and a half, depending on the program. So let's begin with E2. If you're a graphic designer and you're from one of the countries that signed the trade treaty with the United States of America and your passport allows you to file for E2 visa, in short, $100,000 investment in your startup or existing business and clean money. All right, so basically that's all you need. So you can open up your own studio, your own company, provide the consulting services or hire a team of other graphic designers and just sell these services here in the States, right? So E2 visa is pretty easy if you have the capital, if you're ready to invest it, and if you're ready to come here and work. Number 2 is O1 visa. It's very important that graphic designers fall not within O1A visa. And I see this mistake across the internet, and a lot of graphic designers like, okay, preparing the case for O1 visa, but then they go to an expert, to the specialist, to the immigration lawyer who is specializing, and like, oops, it's not O1A, it's O1B. Well, of course, there is some crossroads for both of these visas. However, O1B has a separate set of criteria. There's like 6 of them, as opposed to 8 in O1A, and they're a little bit different. So if you have some awards, if you have some special marks in Adobe, in Behance, in other platforms for graphic designers, they can serve as an award, right? As a award, as a prize. If you participate in some competitions between graphic designers and got awarded, some medals, some cups, whatever that is, right? We can do at least one criterion. If major press writes about your successes, that's another one. If you speak at the conferences, if you work for larger famous companies, if you created some your methodology, some approach to graphic design, if you get paid a lot of money for your work, you can satisfy most of the criteria for O1B. There's only one thing that you need to know for O1B, if you don't know anything, that you have to have an employer. So you have to have an American company or an agency or an agent who is gonna sponsor your O1 visa. In other words, they have to sign the petition for you, and all your streams of income is gonna go through that company, for the agency or an agent. It could be one person. If that doesn't work for you, you can open up your own company and make it your employer. Right? Yes, you have to create the corporate structure for this company so it satisfies the immigration criteria, but it is possible, and we do it on a daily basis. So remember that either an employer or your own company as an employer. I think for most of you, the second way is much easier. Number 3, and it's close to O1B visa, which is a talent visa, EB1A. The difference with O1B is that the extent and the quality of your evidence is much, much deeper, right? It's like you need to show that you have a recognition at least on your national level. And of course, for EB1A, I want to see some recognition coming from outside of your country. So let's say you from England, from Great Britain, and you have recognition in that country, but if you have some recognition, maybe some recommendation letters, expert opinions from France, from Germany, maybe from Spain, maybe from US, it's probably the best. Then we'll be looking at EB1A and see what's going on and see how we can make your file even stronger, right? And that's what I'm good at. That's where I'm specialized. Clients come with me with certain quality of the evidence, and I build the strategy for the client for 6 months ahead, where we can compile new evidence and describe the current evidence and make the file, the case, the strongest possible in this way, right? So that's what I and my team do when our clients hire us. With EB1A, bringing really good press, the top press from your country. I would like to see at least 4 articles about you written by a journalist. I want to see some awards. I want to see you as a judge at or expert referee at some competition, some event. I want to see that you work for bigger companies. I want to see good payments for your work and things like that, right? So if we have that, then we can probably go the EB1A route. And number 4, this is the cherry at the top, is one of my favorite programs, EB2 National Interest Waiver. And if you watch me from time to time or constantly, you know that EB1A and EB2 National Interest Waiver are the only 2 programs, the exceptions to categories of EB, which are 5 of them, where you don't need your own employer, right? So neither EB1A nor EB2 National Interest Waiver need to have the employer. So you can self-petition. However, with EB2 National Interest Waiver, you have to have either higher education or you have to be a person with exceptional ability. In short, exceptional ability would go around your experience, right? I want to see 10 years of experience. I want to see good recommendation letters. I want to see that you still have some education, right? But it's much easier if you have education in the field of your expertise in the graphic design, then we don't have to deal with the exceptional ability. And you have to have the endeavor. I love the word endeavor. It's beautiful, right? I think it's streaming from French. It's written one way, it's pronounced a different way, and the meaning is something else. I like to call it a project, right? So what kind of project you're going to be doing here in the US that's going to be in the national interest of the states? With the graphic design, I think it's much harder to show the national interest of your work. However, I think it's possible, right? It depends on what exactly you want to do. So EB2 National Interest Waiver is more for those of you who really know what they're going to be doing here in the States. For EB1A, you can say, hey, okay, I'm going to continue, I'm going to be working, maybe I'm going to be teaching, maybe I'll be consulting. That's like a light version of EB2 National Interest Waiver. Whereas the EB2 NIW, you have to put a lot of focus on your project and how it's in the national interest. So in other words, find a problem here in the States in your field and get a solution. And that's going to be your project. Okay, guys, so we discussed 4 types of visas that are possible to get for those of you good in graphic design. And again, I did the priority by the ease of getting those visas. So E2, O1B, man, I have this hawks flying around my office. It's like 9th floor, and there's huge birds. They're just looking for food. It's so much fun. So E2, O1B, and O1B and E2 probably interchangeable, first and the second place, then EB1A, and then EB2 national interest waiver. So if you guys think that you may qualify for one of those visas, you can get a free evaluation of your case. How you can do this? You go in the description of this video and you find the link that has description of your visa. So E2, O1, EB1A is going to be the same because it's a talent visa, and EB2 national interest waiver. You click those links, fill out the questionnaires. Yes, it's going to be like 20 to 30 questions, but hey, you're getting a free analysis. So spend some time, fill out those questionnaires, and I will get back to you within 48 hours and will give you the analysis of your case. And I'm going to tell you if it's a good case or not, maybe give you some tips on how to strengthen that. And if I see the perspective, if I see the potential, I will invite you to the immigration planning, where I will build a strategy of your case that's going to become the initial strategy and when you hire my team and me. All right, so guys, again, smash that like button if you like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, comment and ask questions. You know I always get back to you sooner or later. And I am Stanislav Shamaev, a lawyer of the future. Your future begins here. Good luck.